what's up? It is Toni.
This is Johnny.
And this is Marriage in Real Life. So today we're going to talk about social media and marriage, I guess. So the original topic was comparison, and comparison is a thief of all joy. So being that there's a lot of talk about social media and all that stuff, we just figured we'd make
it work.
We'll make it work.
We'll marry the two subjects.
We'll marry the two subjects. So what is your thought process on that? Do you have any stories about social media and marriage?
Nope.
We actually don't. Actually, you know what? We don't have, like even when I see Facebook and I see how, so it's weird, I hate to, because I don't want to, because you got to do whatever works for your marriage, right? But when you see joint Facebook pages. So here's my thing. I seen a meme that said, nothing says I trust you like a joint Facebook page. But, you have to do what works for your marriage. I mean, Johnny and I haven't had any issues with social media.
Keep my social media private.
So,
no, I don't.
That's what I was about to say, do you?
It's just a lot of stuff on social media as it pertains to everything. But I think sometimes, since we talk about marriage, when you look at other couples on social media, and how they move within their marriage, it looks amazing. Like Maldives, like you never take me to Maldives.
Right.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like it looks amazing. So I think it's very easy, to, especially after, you get beat down by your spouse, and then you go lay in the bed and look at social media, and, they sipping mimosas on the beach, in Turks and Caicos. Like, it can just be a bit discouraging. And you're not comparing apples to apples. You're comparing situations, different situations, to one another. So it's I think it's just important that you don't get caught up, in the trap of social media. Because there's a lot of booties on social media too. Not that I know personally, but I hear people talking about it, right? And so it's one of those things where it's just very easy to get trapped in so many areas.
It is. You can get trapped in so many areas. I would say men probably, I don't know what men fall for, but if I was to guess, speaking from a woman's place, men probably fall for the booties.
Well, why don't you talk about from a woman's space?
And women fall
I didn't say
for
place, I said space.
Women probably lean toward and get caught up in the money stuff, the shopping stuff, the bag stuff, because I got a little snack sitting next to me. So I ain't really, like all of that other stuff that you see where dudes be like, oh, I don't get caught up on that. You know what I'm saying? I really try to make it a point not to compare, but humanness.
It can be tough, yeah.
Humanness is humanness. I think it's just important to make sure that you're running your race. So one of the examples that I've given before, me and Johnny have talked about, is like you have two married couples. Let's just say both of them work equal jobs, right? And so one couple goes and buys, and when I say equal jobs, you got a school teacher or two school teachers. Let's say the husband and wife, both school teachers.
Shout out to the school teachers.
Listen, school teachers are underpaid. But I'm saying, given a job that most people would know is, likely underpaid, or you kind of come up with the average pay for a school teacher, right? And so you got two couples, both school teachers. One couple goes and buys $1 million house, right? In this super bomb neighborhood, just a really nice house, right? That you wouldn't deem, a typical house for a school teacher salary, two school teacher salaries. Then you got the other couple, and the wife is looking at them going, like,
oh, we can't have that.
You need to, like, they got it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what she looking at him like? She looking like, oh, buddy looked on John Q. and she was telling Denzel, do something.
Probably. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just kind of like, they got it, and we need to work hard, and we got to save our money, and yada, yada, yada. And so she's getting distressed because they, maybe they're renting or maybe they're whatever, and they don't have this house that they see their other school teacher living. Well, the part that's missing is the fact that the husband in the $1 million house scenario, that's a school teacher, is the heir to Kleenex, right? His great-great-grandfather is the person that discovered Kleenex. I'm just making up some shout out to Kleenex. Y'all can sponsor this if y'all like. That's an example of not comparing apples to apples.
Correct.
Like, and you're stressed out about it, but you don't know all the pieces. You don't know
the details.
You don't know the details. So meanwhile, you're walking around putting pressure on your husband or putting pressure on your wife. And so now you're feeling like you're not working hard enough. You know, life is, but isn't it,
he feeling like he not worthy, not good enough.
and what y'all looking at is not even real. In a real scenario, y'all got they would have a regular life, but because, and not, I mean, regular is what, relative, right? But I'm saying we compare ourselves to things and get stressed about things and we don't even know the whole story, right? And so it is very, very important not to get caught up in that. What do you have any tips?
Just stay engaged in your own marriage, period. And learn how to put mental buffers from social media or in between social media and reality. Reality is we had a great evening on last evening.
We did.
I can carry that through the day. But
I can too.
But that's us working on us.
Right.
You know, the reality of it is I gotta go to work and she's gonna do what she does, right? Which is her form of work. And we're really happy with that. And when I go to work, I'm not worried about what anybody else is doing except for what my family is doing.
Right.
So it's like put the buffer up between reality and social media. You know, who cares?
So, not to talk about specific people, but there was a relationship expert on social media, huge. And this whole scandal came out. He had some extracurricular. First of all, nobody ever knew he was married, right? It's like, huh? You know what I mean? And everybody's like, what? He married? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And meanwhile, this dude ain't even living by what he's telling all of these women. Don't let him do such and such. Don't let him make you a secret. Meanwhile, his wife, like a whole secret on social media, right? So that's another good example. Now you feel betrayed because you like, turns out this joker don't even live. You know what I mean? So,
but then on the flip side of that, it's a lot of relationships where everybody's in the open, and there's still some weird stuff going on.
Right.
So it's like you just can't compare what you see on social media.
You cannot. Johnny hit it on the head. You have to stay in your own lane. You have to stay in your own lane.
You got to stay embraced and stay present, just in your life, in your situation, and just work on you and your boo, you and your family, and make sure y'all where y'all need to be. Don't get caught up in all this other stuff. And you know what? Let me be very honest. It can be a challenge sometimes because the way the world is set up now, everything goes through social media in some capacity. So you have to be disciplined enough to really just get to a place to where, either you block it out. I don't spend a lot of time on social media. You know what my substitute for social media is? Chess, poker.
Golf, poker.
Yeah.
Chess.
but here's the deal. My energy goes to something other than that. I might be in a book. I got a bunch of stuff over. There's no telling what it is, but I purposely just stay out of that stuff because I just feel like if you go down that rabbit hole, it's going to be a day where you're having a bad day, and you don't want to go on this journey, when you're vulnerable, if that makes sense, right? And we've all been vulnerable in some capacity, and it's just why it's just so important for you to just stay engaged with your family, stay focused on the goals that you set, for your own well-being, for your family's well-being. And just the greater good of your household. I think that's really the bottom line. Yeah,
it is, and it creates. You don't want to create unnecessary turmoil.
Yeah.
You don't want to create, and it's one of the reasons that Johnny and I know for sure I do, and Johnny he just a different. But I try to. I don't post everything that I have going on at my house. I ain't even talking about I'm talking about everything. Every gift Johnny buys,
well, it ain't nobody's business. It's no one, that's between us. I really believe in sacred moments in our household. I don't want everything on social media.
Right, and
because it's not for social media.
And so that's Johnny's perspective, you know what I mean? And there's a whole nother perspective when you deal with social media from, you know, a business, whatever perspective. My perspective is, and it's just the way I think, whether it be right, I don't want to put pressure on nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have...
Not that we have that authority.
No, we don't. But it's always... Like, I don't want nobody thinking...
But maybe a little bit.
I don't want somebody thinking, well, dang, I wish... Because listen, it's, you know, me and Johnny are 17 years in. So our marriage at 17 years looks completely different than it looked at year 5. From every aspect. From every aspect.
But we still have raggedy moments now.
We do. Like, we do have, they just at a different level, right?
Yeah.
So when I say every aspect, that means finances, that means living, that means cars, that means mental space, that means business. Why everything is different at 17 years than it is at 5 years, right?
And the prayer is going to be different at 25 years than it was at 17.
Right, exactly. And so I don't want to put any unrealistic pressure on somebody that's looking at what I have or what we're doing or where we're going out of context.
So look at social media for entertainment value only.
Yeah.
Use social media as a positive resource, not as some type of, you know, doorway into depression. It's not worth it.
Because it can be a doorway into depression.
Because I'll be honest with you, I look at some, you know, some golf pages and it depresses me.
And I'll be like, let him tell it. Him and Tiger gonna go up against each other on the senior.
Well, you know what? I would have been on the PGA too, but I had a baby early on. I had to take care of it.
I was that what it was. However,
I had to get a job.
Right, like, you know, just use it for inspiration, learning. Don't use it to, like Johnny said, go down this rabbit hole of depression and comparison and making yourself feel, I don't have that and that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
use
because
it as a motivator, as a spark.
Use it as a motivator.
Starter. Don't use it as something that's going to capture you and cause you to go backwards and depress you. It's not worth it. Because
9 times out of 10 they have that, but they lacking something that you have, right? That they want. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants what they don't have. So anyway, we are going to be live on Sunday as usual. 9 o'clock Central will be live on Instagram and Facebook. And we look forward to furthering the discussion.
God bless.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. See y'all soon. Bye.